back to my channel. So today I thought I would film another video for you. So this one's going to be the 10 baby names that I love but may or may not be using. So I'm going to run through 5 girl names and 5 boy names, and in that list there are names that I definitely will not be using for one reason or another, and there's also a few that are still pretty high contenders but I haven't quite got Josh on board with them yet. So let's get started. Okay, so the first name that I have is a girl's name, and that is Lila. So I really liked this name when we were picking names for my daughter. But the reason that we didn't end up going with it is because I do actually have 3 nephews, and all 3 of their names start with L. So I didn't want to jump on the L bandwagon with that one, even though I really love the name. I really love their names as well, but we aren't going to be going with any kind of theme or pattern with our baby names. So in fear of being included in my sister's already set L name pattern, we steered clear of this one. The second name on our list is Noah. So with that one, I have loved that name for as long as I can remember. I couldn't even tell you where I heard it, but it's just stuck with me. And every time I've ever imagined having a little boy, I've always just thought that I would name him Noah. If anyone had asked me, I always said that that was what I was going to name my son when I had one. But the longer it's kind of been on our list, the more I'm kind of, I don't know, not loving it. I still really love the name. I think it's a beautiful name for a little boy. It's strong, it's manly, but it's just really popular. And there are so many little boys named Noah around now that, I don't know, I like to be a little bit more different than that. So that's probably the only reason why I wouldn't use it, because I still really do like it, but it's just way too common, unfortunately. Okay, so the next name is another girl's name, and it is Keely. So Keely's been on my baby names list for almost as long as I can remember as well. But the longer it's been on there, the further down it's been pushed. So I still really like the name, but it's just, it doesn't sing to me the way that it used to. So I have slowly pushed it down. It's still on there, it's still my favorite, but also my fiance isn't the biggest fan of it either, so that doesn't help. So it's gone further down the list. So it's one that I absolutely love but probably won't use now. And the next name that I have is a boy's name. So this name was also quite high on our list when we found out we were pregnant with my daughter, and that's Elijah. So I really liked the full version of it, and I liked the fact that you could shorten it to Eli. But since having our daughter, Eli has become very popular, and I do have quite a few friends now that have named their sons Eli. And so because of that reason, I wouldn't use it. So baby name number 5 is another girl's name, and it's Emma. So I think this name is absolutely beautiful. It's classic, it's just girly, it's short, it's sweet. I adore this name, but we are unable to use it as part of our children's names purely because my fiance, his sister's name is Emma. So I wouldn't feel right naming our child after one of his siblings. We both have quite a few siblings, so it just wouldn't be fair to name a child after just one of those siblings. So for that reason, we wouldn't use it. It's also become quite classic, and it's still quite popular. So that's also another reason why we wouldn't use it. We tend to, when we're choosing a baby name, look for ones that are not overly unique but not overly popular either. So for that reason, we wouldn't use the name Emma. The 6th baby name that I have is another boy's name. So this one is Harrison. So I really like this name. I've liked it for as long as I can remember. It's very strong. I think it's a strong name. But I don't like the fact that you can shorten it to Harry. And with my daughter's name, we shorten it all the time. She's got a different name every other day of the week. So with this one, I feel like it would gradually get shortened to Harry, and I don't really like that. So for that reason, I wouldn't use it. So baby name number 7. So 7 is a girl's name, and that name is Hadley. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's girly. It's sweet. I think it would suit a girl who's like, I don't know, like your teenage girl, schoolgirl, baby, adult. I think it would suit someone all the way through their lifespan. But my partner thinks it's way too unique. So he was not on board with that one. So that one got crossed off straight away, but I still love it. I absolutely adore it. And if I had my own way, we would name one of our children Hadley. Okay, baby name number 8 is a boy's name, and this one is Hudson. So I love it. It's nice, it's sweet. It can be shortened to Huddy, and I think Pipey and Huddy, that goes really well together. My fiance is not totally not on board with this one, but again, it's fairly unique, but I have heard quite a few people name their child this now, so it's starting to be a little bit more popular. And so when we do finally have a child that could use that name, I feel like it might be too popular for us to use at that point. But for the moment, it's staying high on our list. Baby name number 9 is another girl's name, and this one is Miller. And to be honest, I didn't like this name when I first heard it. I have a distant relative that called their daughter Miller quite a few years ago now, and when she told me what the name was, I really didn't like it. But I've heard it a lot more as of late, and I've come across quite a few other people that really like the name or have named their daughter Miller, and the more I hear it, the more I absolutely love it. When we do have our second baby, I really think that I'm going to struggle to name another girl, purely because I love my daughter's name so much. So when we were looking at names for her name, this name, like her name wasn't even on our list. It wasn't one that I had really thought about. When I thought of the name Piper, I don't know, I didn't think of it as a name that I would use for my child. And yet the more I looked at it, the more I fell in love with it. And I adore her name. It suits her perfectly. And I just haven't come across another girl name that I can honestly say that I have fallen in love with the same way that I've fallen in love with Piper's name. So I feel like I'm going to really struggle to name our second child if it's female. Boys, on the other hand, might not be as hard, but for a girl, I really think that we're going to struggle just to find a name that we love as much as we love Piper's name. Okay, and the last baby name that we have is another boy's name. And this one, Josh and I have only just kind of started talking about it. It hasn't been one that I have really heard a lot. Especially not as a first name. It's more of a last name. Well, in Australia it is anyway. But the more we kind of talk about it, the more I like it. And it suits our last name quite well. It flows really nicely. And I don't know, the more I look at it, the more I can envision having a child with that name. And so the name's Clark. So kind of like Clark Kent. I think if we don't use it, that's probably the reason why, because my fiance is a little bit Superman obsessed, and I feel like if we were to use that name, he would cop a little bit of grief for it, and people would know straight away that he likes it because of that. But that's not why I like it. I like it for a completely different reason. So I just think it's masculine, it's a strong name, and I don't know, I can just imagine a little boy running around and, you know, Clark. It's just, I don't know, it's cute. I absolutely love it. But the middle name that I would like to use with our boy's name, it doesn't quite go with. So that could deter me from using it. But you never know. So that is 10 baby names that I love and may or may not be using. So we'll see, depending on the gender of our baby. There's a few on there that I absolutely love, but I don't know. If I can get Josh on board, one of those will definitely be our next child's name. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.